May find the following disturbing. Discretion is advised.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. It's fucking game day. It's game day. The start of a new season, new coaching staff, fucking new players, new turf, new everything, man. It's just shit, whatever. We get to go at it today and see how these Bears actually look, and we'll see how next week goes after today. I'm think it's going to be great, but whatever. I'm always optimistic. So we'll see where we go from there. Let's kick this thing around the room and introduce the fellas, and we'll get this thing going. First, we got Mr. Aaron Current, AC, the Kentucky kid, the bearded Bears fan. What's up, man? I know you're going to break down a game yesterday. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm fired up, boys. Let's go. Cats by 90. We go down to the swamp and we drain the damn swamp. I'm sorry if I'm coming in hot, but I'm fired up. Will Levis went down there and tossed it all over. Defense stepped up. Man, I'm fired up. I was up all night last night. Couple beers deep. I ain't going to lie. But the boy was fired up. And then today I get to wake up. And you know what? I'm on cloud 9. Bears is going to win by 10 today. Fuck it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. By 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take 10. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be like a horse race and, whatever. But I think it'll be a pretty good game. So we'll see. Next, we got the man down in the corner there, stealing the fucking energy from the firehouse, Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings, KB in the place to be. What up?
Hey, man, I woke up late at about noon. Just glad I got my ass in the fire station soon. You feel me? Because your boy was almost late today. My boy AC was on here talking to me late, boy. You hear me? Talking to me late. But, hey, man, it's football day, man. It's football day. You know what I'm saying? I got the Bears shades on for my folks that's in the chat, man. Y'all wonder why your boy out here looking like Easy. But, man, I'm excited, man. My boy is on here, man. Notre Dame lost last night. Hey, man, it's a good day, dog. You know what I'm saying? The Bears play. Let's get it.
Yeah, I know. Notre Dame looked just disgusting. That whole game was whatever, man. I ended up falling asleep on the couch like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I was like, yeah, you can change it, babe. I'm going to bed. So that was about the end of that, but whatever. Let's go. Let's keep this thing going. Jordan, we got Jordan Silvera. Jordan, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good morning, fellas. West Coast, 7:11 a.m. You guys like to get me up early, but I'm excited. It's a Bears game, and I'm just excited to talk about it. We are looking forward to a Bears win today. I don't usually put a jersey on, but when it's Sunday and it's Bears time, we're doing it.
Ooh, hell yeah. Like to see it. And I'm looking forward to a win today. I think we, come out, whatever. We'll talk about all that in a minute. Let's go across the pond to our man across the pond, Mr. C-Dub, Chris Watts. What's up, brother?
I'm really good, Bobby. I'm so fucking excited, man. It's like one of the best days of the year is the start of the NFL season. So I'm absolutely pumped up for this show, man. And it's always great to be chatting bear ball with you boys. So bring it on, mate. Fucking best day here.
Hell yeah. And I mean, so let's just get right into it. We got the battle today, the second-year quarterbacks. Justin Fields versus Trey Lance. We got they're coming into Chicago, like we said earlier. They just redid the turf, just redid the field. I want to say like 5-6 days ago. Got rid of the Kentucky bluegrass that was in there, supposedly filled all the potholes and put down the Bermuda grass. I know it's pouring rain in Chicago right now, so we'll see how that field holds up and see how everything goes. It's always been a pain in the ass, that field, for years, for teams coming in and for the Bears. So we'll see how that thing goes, man, and how it holds up. But let's move into these Niners. The Niners coming at us. They're going to see a new team. Trey Lance, is under center now. AC, what you got on the Niners coming in, man?
Man, the biggest thing for me with the Niners is their coaching staff, the experience that they have over there. It's hard to match that, especially with a brand new coach. But as far as Trey Lance goes, I have trouble believing in the guy. And honestly, I wonder if the 49ers feel the same way after bringing back Jimmy G. I know the fan base is torn on him because they don't know what they're going to see out of the kid. I mean, he hasn't really played in 2 years. If there's something to take advantage of, I think it starts with that guy right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think you're going to see both the quarterbacks get on the move, get out of the pocket today, and be moving that thing. But we got Roquan back on the field. We'll see how he looks, right? But I'm certain it'll be a little spy mission for him. And quarterbacks don't really run that great against Roquan. The dude's quick, man. But we'll see how it is, how it comes to this year with the whole hold in or hold on or whatever the fuck he was trying to do. But he hasn't been on the field yet, so hopefully his training's up to par and all that, and we just go from here and he comes out leading this team. Jordan, what's your thoughts, man, on San Fran coming to town and Trey Lance under center?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going – I don't know if I'm ready to give the Bears win by 10, but I love the energy. I think it's going to be within the spread. I give it about a 3 to 4 point victory by the Bears, predicted yesterday, 21-17, I believe the score was. And I just think as far as Trey Lance, and I don't think this is too far of a stretch, I assume that Kyle Shanahan would be spamming the easy buttons for him, getting his first significant time. And if the Bears are smart, I think that they should be doing the same for Justin Fields. Go ahead and spam those easy buttons. Let's get the nakeds, the bootlegs, the waggles, multiple levels, concepts, floods, screens, run the ball. This is week 1. It's not going to be the exotic stuff you see week 9, week 10.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like we have said in weeks past. Just keep it simple, keep the offense simple. Do the little things well, and Justin Fields can move this pocket and get out of there and get going. I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk about San Fran's defense and whatever, but it was one of Justin Fields' most rushing yards he had. It might be the most rushing yards he had in the game last year. It was the Halloween game that Kerry and I went to, where San Fran came to Chicago, and Fields just torched him, man. He got out of the pocket and he was moving. So I think we're going to see a lot of running today too, just because, I mean, you got the strength of that defense coming at you. The pocket's undoubtedly going to collapse at points. And Fields just needs to get out there and get it moving. KB, what are your thoughts, man, on San Fran coming to town and what our offense needs to do?
I imagine this, man. Today is probably going to be a heavy running day. With it raining the way it is in Chicago, that ground's going to be wet.
Yeah.
I don't imagine this would be a game that feels like somebody up for 400, and I certainly don't believe that for Trey Lance. So like I said, I'm one of them fans right now, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say we're gonna blow them out. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win by a touchdown. I feel it'll be by a few points, something similar to how it was last year. But I'm feeling the Bears win today, man. I'm not too impressed with that offense and knowing that George Kittle ain't gonna be in the game, man. Hey, that's a heavy blow. That's a real heavy blow, man. But I'm excited to see games, man. I'm excited to see the field, bro. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, and I agree with you. If it's still coming down at game time like that, it's definitely gonna be a battle on the ground, vice through the air. Montgomery starting it off. First game, he's been some trash talk on him too over the offseason about how he's not a big name running back, and he's only averaging this many yards per carry, and it's more of yardage by volume versus versus actual breakaway speed and being a top running back in the league. So there's going to be a lot of that too. Just little pieces that guys are still wanting to prove themselves. I'm excited to see this defense, of course, come out to the field. Our defense intact, come out to the field. I mean, there's not a lot of blue chip players anymore, right? It's more like blue collar players now, just trying to prove their worth and get the job done. But I'm excited to see them come together and actually show us something on the field and get after this offense. C-Dub, what you got, man? What's your thoughts on this on defense coming through and what this new defense? Well, I guess new coaching defense and that's going to look like.
I'm really excited. I think they're going to show a lot of speed, our defense. I think really that Trey Lance is one of their main weaknesses for the 49ers. He's already played 2 games in the last decade. So I really think if we get the pressure on him, I think that's going to give us a really good chance of winning the game. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think we could beat them by a touchdown. And then regarding our offense against their D, I reckon if we can chip their defensive linemen, do a few max protect, give Fields a bit of time, and get the running game going, then I think we could get a victory.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think we can get it too. I'm not really scared of their offense. I know KB had just mentioned Kittle out too, but not really scared of their offense. And I just really want to see our defense come out and force the turnovers, force Trey Lance into some bad decisions. I mean, like everybody's kind of mentioned, he doesn't have a lot of time, in the NFL under center. Force this dude into some bad decisions. Make him, dissect the game. Don't just give him these easy, under routes and drag routes and shit like that, or let him get outside the pocket. The only thing that is a little concerning, right? He can run. I just think that this defense, there's a lot of people that are trying to prove themselves, and I don't want to see the over pursue of where they get caught, not where they're supposed to be. They over pursue, and he kind of gets outside and takes off, because the kid's got some wheels. So we'll see. AC, what you got, man?
Just like you said, man, the defense, I think they come out with something to prove. And with it raining, the way it's raining,
yeah,
they've been talking all offseason about how they're punching at the ball, swiping at the ball, trying to get the ball out. And you got a slippery ball. I mean, that's a perfect combination. If we can get some turnovers, that would be, obviously beneficial to us to try and get the dub. With no George Kittle, you got to focus in on Deebo Samuel and make them beat you with someone else. And Deebo Samuel, we all know, is a dual threat wide receiver. He doesn't just catch the ball, so watch out for those end arounds and stuff. But I think Eberflus is going to have his defense disciplined, staying with their running lanes, and I think that'll help us out in the long run. That's how you shut down a quarterback that can run or end arounds and stuff. You don't over pursue. And I definitely think Eberflus has got these dudes ready.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, right now the line's got San Francisco at 6.5. They do have Kittle listed as questionable. Did that actually? He's not officially out yet, right?
It might not be official. I've seen some saying that he was more than likely going to miss, but we'll see.
It's not official. It's the belief though that he hasn't practiced all week, and why would they push him in week 1? But you'll know, I mean, in a couple hours if he's not out there practicing. So
100%. Jordan, what do you got, man? What's your keys? Let's go with this. Let's go with your offensive victory keys. What's your keys to win for the offense? What do they need to do in order to get this W?
Well, as I kind of said earlier, you need to make sure that you're doing a good job protecting against this defensive line. I understand that we all want to act like the San Francisco 49ers aren't a legit team, but you don't end up as close in the playoffs to beating you ended up beating the Packers, having games with the Rams and things of that sort. So this defensive line is real. I know the big name is Bosa, but you go to the other side, it's Samson Ebukam. They've got waves of these guys. It's not just Eric Armstead, it's Javon Kinlaw. If it's not Samson Ebukam, it's Charles Amenahu. So you have to make sure that you are blocking this up, which comes down to Justin knowing his protections or the center, getting on point with that ID in the mic. And then also provide chip help. A lot of 12, 13 personnel. If it's going to be rainy, let's put those extra big bodies and tight ends in, chip up these defensive ends. And then if you need, go ahead and have them after a second or two leak out as an outlet for Justin to hit in the flats if nothing else is open. Other than that, run the ball successfully. And I know you didn't ask about defense, but it's real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
To me is the key of this game. Fit the run. If you do nothing else, fit the fucking run. Because that is how you are going to force the game on a young quarterback's shoulders and say, you beat us with your arm and you win. And if you can run the ball successfully, you take pressure off Justin Fields in a shitty environment with rain, and then vice versa. We fit the run. We stop Eli Mitchell, who I think is a real legitimate back.
Yeah.
You ask Trey Lance to beat you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of the forecast that other teams had for us last year. You know what I mean? That we seen against defenses last year. But I think a lot of those were just blown fucking Nagy plays and him not knowing what the hell he was doing. So I'm excited to see Eberflus, excited for this new team, you know, in a sense to come at it and get after it. I think, you know, for sure. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain all day there or if it's supposed to stop, but I think it's going to play a huge factor in the game. You know, we'll see. I want to see Monty back there, you know, getting after it, doing his thing, and just kind of game management by the offensive coordinator and Eberflus. I want to see how they manage these games and what, because I mean, dude's been in the league as an assistant coach. I want to say like 30 years or some shit, and you know, it's first actual regular season game for him as a head coach. So we'll see how that all goes and how he manages it. But I think it's definitely I'm not worried about it. I'm just kind of excited to see it. KB, what you got? What's your little you know, your picks to click? What needs to happen in this game in order for us to take away the victory?
Oh man, I mean, Jordan kind of said it, bro. It's pretty much all the same. It's going to be staying on the ground. The big thing is, bro, that water and that football ain't gonna show no favoritism. So it's going to be a lot of you got to protect the ball, you got to protect the rock. We got a lot of these unproven wide receivers. So when you do catch the ball, first thing I would love to see, don't try to make an entire team miss, man. Make sure that you got the ball secure.
Yeah.
That defensive line for the 49ers, their linebacker core, not all that shit's not a joke. That's real heat. That's real talent on that side of the ball. I do have some kind of, you know what I'm saying, I have my say on the 49ers secondary. I don't feel like their secondary is the top notch of the NFL. I believe they could be had there, but like I said, when you have one of the top 3 or 4 pass rushing lines and linebackers, man, you can make a average secondary look pretty damn good. So I expect to see a lot of ground and pound today. I really do. Would love to see some of these old linemen, you know what I'm saying, get a lot of push on the line today. Let's see how strong they are, strength against strength. So that's my keys for offense. Defense, punch at the ball, baby. Y'all preach this 11 men to the ball, and it's his philosophy. Let's see it. Let's see some of these turnovers that they've been talking about getting in the training camp, man. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see these monsters come back, man. You know what I mean? Robert Quinn come back and get off to a good start, and just shut this whole fucking thing down of the, you know, the under 500 Bears, the maybe 3 wins and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come out and do something and shut these dudes up. I feel like it's been everybody saying, you know, rebuilding year, rebuilding. Those are just excuses to go fucking look like the Detroit Lions. Fuck you, Dumber. But you know what I mean? It's
I don't see him in here yet. He might still be asleep.
Yeah, he might not be. But you know, anytime I say Lions, I gotta add in the fuck you, Dumber. So there's that too. But yeah, I'm excited to see this defense, man. I'm excited to see these DBs. I mean, I know it might be raining and might be shitty conditions, but I want to see the secondary come together. You know, like Jordan was saying, kind of fit some of these holes too, and get up there and bring this like a nastiness back. You know what I mean? Because it just seems like they were just playing like kind of off of the receivers last year. They, like the bend don't break, but then they break anyway. Like that whole style. I want to see some of these dudes get fucking laid out, and I know we've seen a lot of it in the chat. Like dudes want to see the ball getting punched at, all that. You know what I mean? I just want to see a kind of ferociousness on this damn defense, man. I was reading this one. What Bears corner have you seen punch a ball out in the last 3 seasons?
Sheesh.
I think that goes back to coaching, man. Eberflus and those guys I think Hogan Johns was saying that they spent 3 sessions in a practice just on punching the ball out and picking up fumbles. So they not only preach it, they practice it. Yeah. And I don't know if we had that before with Nagy. I don't even know if Nagy ever went and looked at the defense. I think he just stood over at the offense and probably complained about the quarterback not being good. But
gave him a new book to read.
Yeah. Aldo's up and early this morning. What's good, brother?
Oh, no wanking allowed. Wanking, man. This guy's a wanker. I'm gonna wank my wanker if I want to. You feel me?
Chris, I don't know. Did you ever see that video? Chris, did you see that video that all
I did. I did, mate. They were absolutely brilliant. When I was on the Aldo show, and when I die, I'm gonna have that played in the background of my funeral. That 5-minute clip. But yeah, you know what I think. You know what I think about the media, mate. They're all fucking wankers. But I tell you what I am really interested in is that I think this game will really show where our offensive line is as well. Especially if they're going to have to run the ball a lot because of the weather, and also as well, obviously they got and protect Fields from Bursa. So I think I am a little bit sort of worried about the left guard Braxton Jones, but I think after today. Playing that 49ers sprint will give us a good idea where we are with that O-line at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a great test for us week 1. And, it doesn't get much easier with the Packers next week because they put a lot of money and time and stuff into their defense. So I think we're going to learn early what this offensive line's made of. And just like you said, Chris, about the national media being wankers, and every – national podcasts that I listen to are just like Bobby said, the Bears are rebuilding, the offensive line's trash, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot had to do with that scheme that we were running last year. I mean, me and KB saw it live in Cleveland when Fields was just getting murdered, absolutely murdered behind that offensive line. We didn't scheme a damn thing. We didn't roll them out. We didn't do a scheme.
It was a scheme to get Justin Fields killed, brother.
Yeah.
We seen the murder being set up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of how I feel, man. That's why I feel like we have a better chance, you know what I'm saying, at being the 3-14 that people are, you know what I'm saying that we're supposed to be, because you actually have a scheme that's in, you know what I'm saying, that's being put into play. You know what I'm saying? My man Getsy has a plan, and that plan is to work around his quarterback's strengths instead of trying to make his quarterback work his offense. There's a difference there. I can make you do what you're good at, or I can say, hey, you're a circle, and I'm gonna try to fit you into a triangle.
AC's on the wrong show. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell was. Well, you sent me, just to pull back the curtain a little bit, you asked me if I had that video. I was trying to look and see if some other shows might have had it under their videos. I don't have the.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
realize
a fucking wanker.
I didn't realize it would change the whole background just clicking into the. I was trying to look through their stuff, behind the scenes, and
the look on your face is like,
what did I do?
Hey man, at least it wasn't that porn you was watching last night, man. That'd have been a whole different story. Bro, it popped up.
The thing is, I'm a bit worried that I'm just going to be known as the wanker man.
Oh,
that's my only fear. Is that everybody's just going to think of me as the wanker man? He's the wanker man.
Hey, we're gonna have to start it next week, but we got to have that segment, the Chris Watts.
Definitely,
Wanker of the
mate,
Week,
definitely.
and you can talk about who who pissed you off last week.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely have to be on the lookout for your wanker of the week.
Oh, the list.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's my scouting for this.
Yeah, that's
Scouting
your
out the
assignment.
wanker.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this game, man. I'm excited to get it going, to get this season going, and just kind of like we're saying, find out where the issues are, to wrinkle them out, and then, or to get the wrinkles out, and then see this offensive line. I want to see that, like, if this is all, say it is pouring rain, and this is abundance of running today and very little passing game, I think that kind of plays in their favor. I don't know. I just think, still moving the pocket in that, Justin can get around, but if they were to pass, but I just think that your assignment's to fucking run block. Get out there, get after it. Let's go. No RPO. We're just either going to punch it down their fucking throat, or we're going to throw these short screens, dumps, little, little short passes. And I think that kind of plays in their favor, and something that we've been talking about the whole time, like build up the confidence, get them going, and get after it. I don't know. Maybe that's too good.
We have our local barroom weather lady here, Karen Race. Said rain predicted here in Chicago up to 6 p.m., possibly 9 p.m. with flood warnings already out. So
I hope this game happens.
Yeah. I think as long as there's not lightning involved. He shat on us last week, but he clearly didn't know what he was talking about. Actually, fuck it. Let's talk about it. He clearly didn't know what he was talking about, because they played.
It's a fucking wanker, mate.
We need that drop.
Jordan dying over there.
I've been wanting to say wanker on the show for ages, but I kept thinking none of the boys will know what I'm on about. But that guy's a fucking wanker, mate.
What's a wanker?
See,
wanker. Yeah. I've never understood what wanker is.
Scotty, don't listen to this, but
he pours his own tea.
What's a wanker?
He likes to create his own sauce. He is a saucier.
Don't want to let them call you a wanker, Ted. It's bad.
The new general manager, Ryan Poles, came over from the Kansas City Chiefs, is sort of chafing when people say, hey, you're in rebuilding mode. He doesn't think they're in rebuilding mode. I probably beg to differ with him.
Wanker!
You're a wanker!
Wanker! Right. On a daily basis, he creams his own eclair.
You have problems tackling? Look out, man. If it was against the Rams, you'd be like, okay, that's the defending champs out there. But when it's the Bears?
You're a wanker! I think this offense is really, really bad. I don't like the receiving core with Mooney, Pringle, and Equanimeous St. Brown. I don't like the offensive line with Borum, Whitehair, Patrick, Mustapher, and Kevin Jenkins. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Stop being a wanker.
And it's also just like, with all due respect to the Bears, it's a team we expect to be at the bottom 5.
Say you're a wanker. I want to know, because my mate said that it makes you go blind.
No, that's rubbish. Stupid fucking wanker.
I told them it could make you go blind because they said you're a wanker and you're not blind, are you, Dad?
No.
Though you do wear glasses.
Daddy?
Yeah?
What's a wanker?
He is Romeo and Juliet.
That should do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears pick number 1 overall in 2022. Like, it's going to be really, really bad. And I can see that.
Wanker.
Fields is a guy that is not he makes a lot of mistakes, not particularly accurate at times. He's not a quick read and react guy, and he's on a horrendous team.
Fuck off, you eat that, you fucking asshole, you muscle wanker!
I can't believe you just said
But
that.
I hear people say it all the time.
Yeah, well, who do you hang out with?
Hooligans.
It's a bad football team, the Bears right now. So
How about you're a wanker?
Whoa, what the bloody...
Chicago's going to be bad, and this is a promising year in a weak division.
I feel like the Bears operate like it's a 1958 franchise. They're a black and white TV in a digital world.
Shut up, you soppy wanker!
He is a last guy in, first guy out type of quarterback.
I didn't even finish the sentence about you wanker!
Because it's not a great situation for any quarterback, let alone a young quarterback to be in. This roster's just not good.
The number 9, Jamie.
Come September, of course he's going to say, yeah, I'll be ready then. Well, we'll see.
You are a wanker.
And this could be an ugly year for Chicago. I just really think it could be.
I'll say it again, you are a wanker.
I had a conversation with the league source yesterday, and he shared with me the Chicago Bears are going to be the worst team in football this year.
Oh, he's an absolute wanker.
I know.
You're going to be 3-14, 2-50. It's going to be
Piss off, you grotty little wanker!
But those people are wankers.
Don, kick rocks, eat a bag of dicks, you're a wanker.
This here! Thank you! Finished?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm sorry. The Don eat a bag of dicks will be burned into my psyche for the rest of my life now. That shit was hilarious, bro.
Dude, that shit was funny. I was rolling when I was watching it, Chris. I mean, hey, it's the arrow's pointing up, buddy. You know, you got Wanker of the Week now, so we'll go from there.
It is.
But yeah, that was. I don't know if you guys had all seen it or if the people in the chat had seen. Go ahead.
It just makes me feel completely just hearing all them English accents shouting wanker.
But yeah, I mean, you've seen all the national media, you've seen all these people, there's tons of them out there just saying like, yeah, gonna have the first pick in the draft, worst team in the league, Saturday, 3-4 wins. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how they come up with this analysis at all.
I feel like so many people in the national media or even in the local media for that matter, you'll have one person make a statement and give a couple of their opinions to back up said statement, and then everyone else copycats off of that. Like I saw this with Kentucky last week. Richardson went out and put up 106 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the number 7 Utah in week 1. So week 2 coming in, everyone was on the line of not only did Florida jump from unranked to 12th, but they were going to run all over Kentucky and beat my Wildcats last night. And then all they did was show up and prove everybody wrong. And I think the Bears are going to do that this year as well. I've already talked about betting the over on our wins for the season. Even I was watching Barstool Big Cat last week. He literally went through game by game, and he had some losses in there that I didn't think were losses, and he had us at 7 wins, and that was with a loss to like the Giants or something, which I don't see happening either.
It better not. I'll be at that game. Piss me off.
Damn it, Bobby.
But yeah, I agree, man. I think you're right. Like where one person kind of goes down the rabbit hole and makes a couple, says a couple things, I would say, like picks a couple weakness parts and it just goes crazy from there. I mean, they're really only going off a name, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And whatever, but going back to the Niners, you got an interior offensive line of the Niners that collectively have only played 3 games. And somehow they're, you know what I mean? There's no talk like that. And they're still a 6.5 point favorite. And if Kittle's out and this offensive line is well, maybe not diminished, but it's new also, right? They got, I want to say they're 3 interior guys have played a total of 3 games. Which isn't fucking promising. Like, what are you going off of in order to say that? So I think, it'll be good for our defense to get after these dudes. And like we said, put the pressure on Trey Lance and force him into some mistakes. The shit talking on Fields, I don't know if March just doesn't like calling out coaches or what he thought of Nagy's play calling and design. But in order to judge it all on the quarterback, and what he was giving to kind of make do with is where I think the shit show was.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I wanted to let Jordan or some of these other guys get a word in edgewise. I feel like I'm taking over the show. You know,
I know, me too. I feel like I've been talking the whole fucking. I feel like I've been talking the whole time. I'm gonna go on
AC
mute.
and Bobby show. I don't know.
I'm gonna go on mute. You guys.
I was gonna say when Bobby come back and he automatically get a slot in the show slot name, bro. What the hell? We've been here, bro. What you mean? Talking about some of the AC or Bobby show. The fuck?
KB, you know you my guy. Who did I text last night after the Kentucky game?
Oh, you definitely text me. We had a phone conversation. Oh my god. But man,
it's only because I didn't respond to his text. KB.
That might I knew it, man. I knew it. Hey man, but no, I want to speak on what my guy Broski Bear was talking about over here, man. Saying Bears are starting a rookie left tackle, other new young old linemen. The Bears wide receiver unit is a joke, other than Mooney. We always hear that shit. Then talking about our D line is soft. Bears linebackers, other than Roquan, are improving. Bears are cornerbacks are improving. All right, man. You know what? It's a lot of truth to what you say. All right, we're not gonna beat around the bush and act like that's a joke. Like that's something that we just gonna skip past. Yes, the Bears are starting left tackle. That's a rookie. What his 5th or 6th round pick? What was he? Fifth round. All right, fifth round pick. And the kid is showing some promise. We hoping he pans out into something. We got other players that are being thrown into new positions. We got Bourne playing right tackle. He played a little bit there last year. Tevin Jick is going to get in some significant time. And we don't know who's starting at center today. And it might be Mustafa. Shit, Lucas Patrick might surprise us. Yes, there is a lot of young people on this team. But the one thing we can sit here and say is that there has been no time in the past decade that we can actually sit here and say that we've seen a team that's been very well fucking coached. I can care less that it was just the preseason or not. I've seen the preseason where we've looked like shit. And to see a team that we were probably within the top 3 of not committing penalties during just the preseason. And these are kids, like I said, who aren't even on the roster now. These are people who are on practice squads or looking for a home right now. And they were out there disciplined. There's a lot to be said about coaching. I cannot say it enough. You look at how the Saints fell off the year they lost Sean Payton for just a fucking year. Coaching has a lot to do with how a team plays. Yes, you can sit here, yeah, Matt Abrams loses a brand new coach, yada yada. We don't know what he's like. I've seen what he's like on the sideline for preseason. He said what he's seen, and yes, the bullets are going to fly today. He's going to face adversity today, but you can just tell he's a different type of person, man. He's a different type of coach. It's not, I'm just here to be flashy. No, I'm here to be the focal point for other people to look at as a leader, and I'm here to teach them so they can coach. That's where the difference lies. It's not I'm here to run this fancy Kansas City offense. I'm here to try to make y'all quarterback look like Patrick Mahomes. I'm here to be the leader of this team, and everybody is going to follow suit. That is where the difference is.
And not only that, our offensive coordinator, Getsy, instead of just saying, this is my system, I'm going to plug you into it, and you got to work through my system.
Yeah.
He actually said when he came in, we're going to build this system around the players that we have. We're going to do what's best for our players, which is an insane idea, I guess.
I mean, super insane. Who would do that?
What a new idea.
Yeah, I agree with you, though.
Sorry, Bobby.
Chris. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering, do you think Jenkins is going to be starting at right guard? Because there's like rumours that Patrick might be playing right guard and then Mustafa playing centre, which I think could be a bit of a dishonour to Jenkins because, I think he's played out of his skin the time he's played in the pre-season. And I think as well, it just gives us a bit of continuity on that side of the line.
Oh, you got to have the best people playing. If Jenkins isn't on the field, that means you're not committing to the best people playing.
Right. I think we're going to see the same old line we saw in the last 2 preseason games. I know Lucas Patrick, they're saying he doesn't have a cast on his hand. He was there early today. But especially with the weather the way it is, do you want to trust that thumb right away? You know what I'm saying? If he plays anywhere, I think it's center. And also, we go back to coaching. You talk about guys fighting to earn roster spots. What would that say if a guy, Lucas Patrick, who hasn't played all preseason, hasn't practiced or anything. If he just shows up and is given a starting job, I don't see this coaching staff doing that. I think he'll be activated just in case they need him as a backup role. But I think the starting lineup that we see is the same one we saw in the preseason. And Mustafa has been holding his own at center, honestly. I think it's I
was going to say he hasn't looked as bad as he did last year. But like I say, you can take whatever you want away from it being just preseason. He looked a lot better. And that you have to give credit where credit is due. I've always felt like maybe if he had the time, just like I felt with Alex Bars, if you would have actually gave them the time to develop and – you know what I'm saying? We not get so down on everybody that comes in and doesn't look good right off the bat. There's no telling what you might have had. But like I said, give credit where credit is due, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I think Jenkins definitely needs to be out there, though. I agree with AC at this point that he's probably just, Patrick's probably just going to be dressed up there just in case. He's needed, and they're just let him heal up 100% and get it done. But I think Jenkins definitely needs to be out there, right guard on the right side. Right guard would be where I think, but who knows, man? I just think it's a good, kind of like we said, it's just a good setup for them to start building and go with momentum. I don't want to play fucking musical offensive line all year.
At all.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. And I get sometimes injury causes that, right? But it seemed under the last regime, it wasn't really always injury. It was just like, okay, well, let's try this guy here and do this guy there. And like, it was just a shit show.
Right.
I think that one year we had that, 6-game losing streak, right? And we were playing musical line that time. And then finally, once it got solidified, we pulled our heads out of our asses and the game started going once they stopped moving everybody around. But who knows, man?
I got a question. So, yeah, we noticed that, what I'm saying, you see Whitehair, we got the C for captain, right? So, does anybody else feel like if Lucas was maybe not hurt, then maybe it might have been him over Whitehair? Or do we say that Whitehair is the captain because he's the longest tenured Bear on the line?
It's hard to tell because, as a lot of people have said, Lucas Patrick's kind of been the leader of these offensive linemen. He's the guy who talked to the media as soon as he got here. He's probably talked to them the most as far as offensive linemen, other than what was going on with Tevin Jenkins.
Right.
That's definitely a big question. I have no idea how they would do that. I think a lot of that, though, was voted on by players.
Yep.
I think the coach gets the final say, but
I was gonna say I was just wondering because when they came out and you seen Whitehair, I was like, okay, that's par for the course. It's Whitehair, but then you just kind of hear about things that was coming out of training camp before he got hurt. It was just like, oh no, like you could tell the leader in the room is clearly fucking Patrick. Like he came in and I laid down my roots. I'm the tree I gather around type shit. So it was just something I always wondered. Let's say ACL. Seniority, hey, that might be what it is, man. I'll say Whitehair never really seemed to be the boisterous type. It just kind of seemed like I'm a nose to the grindstone type of guy, which is nothing's wrong with that at all. But from what Patrick was pitching, man, it kind of seemed like, hey, I'm gonna walk it and I'm gonna talk it, and everybody else is gonna get behind me and we're gonna do this damn thing. Mm-hmm. So I was just wondering.
Yeah. Well, let's throw this thing into a different motion. We got one of our boys hopping in. He's going to join the show for a little while and hang out. You guys will catch him later, but you guys already know who he is. He doesn't really need any introduction. But let's invite in the Tooch, Mr. John Santucci, coming to the show. He's here to talk, some of his picks and talk about these Bears. What's up, Tooch? How are you, brother?
Hey, what's happening, Barflies, guys? The AC show, glad to be back. Just, Bobby, man, great to see you. I miss you so much, man.
No, I miss you too, buddy. I haven't seen you in a
long
long time.
He's been out living his best life. He's out on the boat fishing. He's got his captain hat on. So don't cry any tears for Bobby Bonds.
There's a game or something today.
Yeah, something might go down.
It's effing here, man. But imagine if the Wildcats lost. What kind of AC we would have gotten, right?
Y'all would have had a doom
Grumpy.
and gloom AC.
It's a great win for the Wildcats, man. I was a doubter, but
I told you all week. Yep. Bet the Cats +6. I told you. Even your boy yesterday, I got on and told you.
I know. I love it. Love it for the big win for Kentucky. I love it. Florida thought, there was a lot of steam from their first game. It was a great win. I want to talk a little bit about the Alabama game, which game
was nuts.
When 93% of the money is on Alabama or on the favorite, there's no way Vegas is going to take a bath. That's just too much money. They're in business to make money. Sports betting. So, Anthony, we have weekend sports betting tips, which is a new show on the Barroom. And Anthony said, "Give me the Texas plus, give me Longhorns plus 21."
Yeah.
And it turned out to be the right play. Same with Notre Dame.
I was shocked at that game when I was at Roosters, a local bar and grill here, watching that game, and I was absolutely shocked. I thought Alabama would roll Texas.
Yep.
But they looked like they weren't ready, and Texas took advantage and actually should have won that game. That they had that they sacked the quarterback in the end zone. It should have been a safety. They called it roughing the passer. Literally, he tackled the guy.
Yeah.
So they were playing not only the number one team in the country, but the refs as well.
They played the refs too. Yeah, Bryce Young played a good game. Let's not take it away. He made the plays at the end of the game. But Notre Dame, another paper tiger. Same thing. All the money on Notre Dame. Marshall, a team that couldn't win on the road last year, they come in and take care of business in South Bend. But we got the Bears today, man. I tell you, longtime fans who watched the Bears and defenses under Lovie Smith. One of the things, when we're keeping the plays underneath and forcing the team to march down the field in 14 play drives. And stopping these short pass plays, a tendency to get gashed, which you remember in the run game. San Francisco's not a team you want to get gashed in the run game. That's one thing that worries me a little bit is how are we going to stop the run, because San Francisco's a darn good running team, man. I'll tell you, they have a great system. They plug in a guy, and Elijah Mitchell, he's a good running back. So. The other thing is Trey Lance. He hasn't shown me anything. I don't know what we're getting. The Bears. Yeah. We got good pass rushers. We get some pressure, be able to keep Lance out of a rhythm, and then we got to be able to run the ball. Got to take pressure off of Justin Fields. And like I said, I hate to be reductive, but it might come down to which young quarterback makes one more play than the other guy. As it is, I loaded up on the Bears. I took the Bears when it was plus 7.5. I think giving me a little bit more than a touchdown at home, and I'm on that.
Yeah, I heard this week when I was listening to some betting shows that home dogs week 1 are like majority of the time they either cover or win outright. So that's where, if you're looking to put your money somewhere week 1, look for the home dog. It didn't work on Thursday. The Bills showed up and just stomped the Rams. But
my boy Jalen Ramsey said, "I'm burnt toast."
Man, he just forgot how to play. Like from the Super Bowl to now, he's one of my favorite players.
I boil that down to one team super hungry, came in and had a chance to show that maybe they belonged in the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. And Matt Stafford didn't play a lot in the preseason. I don't think he played at all. Had an elbow. And then they lost Andrew Whitworth, and that was a huge loss for them as Von Miller, who switched sides, ironically, in this game. He made the new left tackle look silly. I mean, Stafford had no time between Rousseau and Von Miller. He wasn't in sync with Allen Robinson. The only thing all he had was Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the NFL, able to get open no matter what. I mean, but when it comes down to just one guy making plays for you, it was over pretty fast. On the other side, Josh Allen had multiple receivers. They were able to run the ball against the Rams. And it was a hard game to handicap. My gut said, take the Bills, man. This is the better team, but it's opening day of the Super Bowl. The trends all favored the Rams, so I was on the other end of that. I won't be on the other end of that next time.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about this one? I know you're talking about the running game in that, right? And I know the Bears are a team that's got a lot to prove, and are we're going to probably see us as the underdog in well over 80% of the games that we play this year. But this game, we kind of talked about it before you joined. That the Niners offensive line, right? You have the staples there of what, Williams and McGlinchey. They're still there. They're still the tackles in both the tackle positions. But the interior of the line has a rookie out there. You got a guy who was like a 6th-round pick and a new center also. I mean, you're looking at guys who have only started 3 games in the NFL. And Eberflus, right, being a defensive-minded coach, is this not something that he takes advantage of? Do you think that the 6.5 now or the 7.5 earlier was just way too out of, like way too high? Or do you think this is a game that's actually, with all that said, is a game that's going to be a lot closer?
I think it'll be a lot closer. And I think line movement proves that, because now it's 6.5. I think there's some 6s out there too. So money's coming in on the Bears. I think whether it's public money or sharp money, I don't know. I would like to think, usually sharps come in at the last minute and drop those big plays and stuff. But I think it'll be closer. I think the George Kittle is doubtful.
Yeah.
So you won't have that threat. You can take that away. And then McGlinchey, he's got a bit of a knee. He's probable. Armstead's got a knee also. We're not really missing that many guys except in the wide receiver car. Alveos Jones is doubtful. Pringle's questionable, but we still have Darnell Mooney. He's pretty darn hard to stop, man. This is a guy who he just got a knack for getting open. I like the kid. I like his game. Reminds me a lot of Marvin Harrison, the old Colts wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then Khalil Herbert, he's also injured. Maybe we'll get to see some Treston Edmonds. I think most of the game is going to be on Monty's shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. I think so too. What about some of these other picks? Like, I want to say, I looked at it, I think it was yesterday, it might have been the day before. But Justin Fields at 50+ rushing yards was like a plus 210 or something yesterday. For just 50 yards with Fields. If this, offense is going to do kind of what we think it is, right? And going to play to his favorites and let him get out of the pocket and do that. I think that I would take that right away.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'll tell you, Joe Mandel sent me a pick for Weekend Sports Betting Tips. Was Cole Kmet over 29.5 receiving yards, which when I went after the show to try and get that play in, it was up to 32.5 now. And this morning I looked at it again, it's 33.5. So they're obviously expecting Cole Kmet to have, around 35 yards receiving, which I think is light still. I might still play that one.
I think the weather factors into that too, though, right? The short passes, the quick, dumps and that. So you might want to turn around and maybe some that are too high on a wide receiver, pull those back and go with those running backs and tight ends there. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. I played Cole Kmet anytime touchdown. I think that's a pretty good. I think 0 touchdowns last year. He's due. I like it. And I think San Francisco was either 3rd or 4th in the league in giving up red zone touchdowns to tight ends. So I think that's a decent play. I think that's plus 230.
Yeah, I think Kmet has a good game too. I worry. We saw quite a bit of fumbles with him last year. With this rain. And he doesn't when he's fighting for yards, which I can't.
Don't say that to Dan Aguirre.
I can't. That worries me. I can't fault him for fighting for yards, but you can't put the ball on the turf either.
I was gonna say, man, you got to look at it. That is a worry for Fields too. That's why this pass rush is so big. Yeah. Hopefully, we don't have anybody coming around the edge swatting at that ball with this rain, man.
Yeah, not gonna lie, man. If the Bears lose the turnover battle, I don't like my Bears plus 7.5 much anymore. But if they can take care of the ball, I think they're better this year. Take care of the ball. I think there was a lack of penalties, which is great. A lot more discipline. So maybe this is a breath of fresh air. That new regime and everything gives them a big lift today. I actually like the Bears to win outright, but we'll see. I don't know, man. I think Trey Lance this is the same situation as in Pittsburgh. Trey Lance, a few bad games, and people are going to be calling for Jimmy Garoppolo, who took him to the NFC Championship last year, man. That's a locker room the Super Bowl when he was healthy again. And same thing. I think Mitch Trubisky's in a bad spot today against the Bengals. Bengals really good against the spread at home.
Don't tell Mike North that.
I know. I know. I just did a hit on Mike's show. We were talking about that. But it's same thing with Mitch. Mitch, an interception here, bad play here, and Kenny Pickett, they're going to be calling for him. Fans will be looking for Kenny Pickett. He's in a bad spot. He's the better quarterback right now, but it's a lot of pressure going into Cincinnati. It's a bad spot. It's a rivalry game, and the Bengals they're darn good against the spread, man. They were good against the spread last year, man. A really good team covering. So that game's -6.5 for the Bengals. I know. I think Uncle Mike's on Pittsburgh +6.5. The thing, if Pittsburgh's defense shows up, then it will be a close game.
Yeah. I seen something, and I was going to bring it up, but you guys, I know I didn't want to interrupt you, but I seen something. I want to say it was last week. Is that Jimmy Garoppolo has, out of like starting quarterbacks with whatever, has thrown the least amount of passes. I mean, you've seen that one year that almost went to the Super Bowl. I think he threw like 2 passes that one game. And they are a team that thrives. Even removing Garoppolo, they're a team that thrives on the ground. And it was kind of something that made me think about this game, right? If they try to get in there, granted it's going to be raining and all that now too, but if they try to get in there and change the game up from what the team aspect is, just because Trey Lance is in there and they try to, unload through the air, I think we have another advantage in our favor. And I think just altogether forcing fucking Trey Lance into some bad decisions and getting this pressure, right? I want to see Robert Quinn. I want to see Roquan, on some of those weak side blitzes, and just get after him, man. I think it's a good chance for some high turnovers, for the Bears today.
Yeah, the weather's going to point toward the under. It's 40.5. It's low. I think it opened at 44.5. So people are hammering the under for this game, and I like that. I mean, yesterday one of my plays for clients was the Iowa Hawkeyes under. I think Jordan will probably agree with me. This is like an automatic play. If you're not betting Iowa Hawkeyes under, say this is an ATM machine. They had 7-3 their first game, 10-7 the last game. This is a 40-point total yesterday. I gave it out to clients. It says one of my top plays. Take the Hawkeyes and Iowa State Cyclones under 40. That was one of my top plays. And then fading Nebraska. That's another of my top plays that came out. Georgia Southern +23.5. They didn't even need the 23.5. Scott Frost's career is coming to an end, I think, in Nebraska. But that was another top play for me. Today, I like the Chiefs, man. I think Arizona's in trouble. I know Arizona spanked Tennessee last year in Tennessee opening week. This year, there's no DeAndre Hopkins. Rondale Moore's out. There's a whole contract dispute with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. And you want to give me a choice between Andy Reid and Cliff Kingsbury? I'm taking Andy Reid every time. You want to give me Patrick Mahomes in 4 years in this offensive system, and I'm only laying 6 points? I think the Chiefs could score on every drive. I just don't like the Arizona defense. I don't like the Chiefs defense either, but I'll tell you, you still got Travis Kelce over there. You still got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You got Juju Smith-Schuster over there now, and you got Andy Reid calling plays, hopefully not Matt Nagy. And it's to me, it adds up to a Chiefs roll. I think this is probably a 10-point win for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Nice. What else you got? What else you got on the Bears radar? Any specific likes, dislikes that for either player potential or anything like that?
Well, I'll tell you, I got ribs in the smoker for the game. So
I'm coming over, brother.
So ready fast. As soon as my wife wakes up to watch the game, she worked last night. We'll be having some ribs in it. Today, I'm fortunate. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. So usually we get Chiefs games or Vikings games. So thankfully they got the Bears on versus 49ers, so I can watch that one live. I don't have to NFL Plus or NFL.
You don't got the, I was gonna say you don't got the NFL Plus.
Yeah, I got NFL Plus. I got the Sunday ticket. I was like, what the heck, man? I don't know what's going on. Wish the NFL would sort this stuff out because I'm sick. I just want one place to go, man. Just make an app, let people subscribe like HBO Max. Come on,
yeah. I mean, I wanted them to do what they were talking about years ago, where you could just purchase one game for like whatever it was at the time, like $15.99 or whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Give me the one game, because I mean I don't need all of them. You know,
right?
Just give me the one. It'll be okay. The rest I'll just watch whatever is on. I don't need to flip through everybody.
Right. That's what they do for boxing and UFC. You know, you got to order the fight. You know, why not do the same thing? Just a little lower price point. You know, let the fans. I got Foster's coming by for. Coming by for ribs. So
you ain't know you finna feed everybody in the chat, brother.
I got to run down to Hy-Vee and grab a couple more slabs. But yeah, let's see. Some of my I got a nice teaser. I think, like I said, 6-point teaser is a good way to win consistently in the NFL. I don't know. I don't see how this is. I'm going to take Anthony and I have this. My partner on Weekend Sport Betting Tips. If you guys get a chance to watch it, at Anthony on Friday, had Sean Higgs, legendary capper, yesterday. Talked some college football, a little pro football, and Anthony came up with really good teasers. Going to tease the Ravens down to -0.5 point. Tease the Packers up to +7.5. And goodness gracious, what was the other one? I forgot. Hold on a second. I think it's the Bengals down to +/-0.5. So Bengals, Ravens, and the Packers. I hate to bet on the Packers, but yeah. No, sorry, Chiefs. Chiefs -0.5, Ravens -0.5, and Packers +7.5.
So that's
nice.
Half a point is the difference on those games? Or you
teased
it to that?
We teased it to down. So Ravens are -6.5. You tease it down to -0.5. And then all three teams have to cover that lower number. So Packers are +1.5 right now. Okay, can you believe that? They were favorites. So
I think Vikings win that game. So
I do too. I woke up this morning. I said I kind of like the Vikings to win. I don't know what it was, a dream or something. But I don't.
Ragnarok and shit. Fucking dreams of Vikings invading.
It's kind of, isn't it kind of?
He's like, fucking let's roll.
With this beard, I get a lot of Vikings dreams.
It's kind of like the Rams, you know, where they haven't really. I mean, they didn't look good in preseason. You know, Rodgers got new wide receivers. They got new personnel here and there. You know, and the Vikings are a lot hungrier under the new staff again. You still got Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins and a new defense. So I mean, I think they got a chance to upset. You know, it'll be a close game. You know, one way or the other.
You still got the Packers winning the NFC North?
I mean, I don't know. They have to be the favorites. Yeah. You know, until someone knocks them off. I think it's safe.
Hey man, Don Berg told me Detroit versus everybody. Put the money down on Detroit, man. First,
I've never
the last in the division.
I've never heard him say that. I've never heard him say that before. It's just that's crazy.
I don't even know who that guy is. What are you talking about?
I mean, Tooch, can we talk quickly about how? I mean, the comment here, game day, and Don hides. The reason he's hiding is because those Eagles are going to beat the dog shit out of the Lions.
Ooh, they play the Eagles first?
Yes, the Eagles are about to dog walk. They're going to turn the Lions into the kitty cats. I'm telling you, like it's going to be real bad.
So for me, the Eagles are obviously the better team. So and I would if I was bet this is a stay away game for me. I'm not going to bet this game. If I were betting the game, I'd be on the Eagles because I think talent wise, their offensive line is great. Jalen Hurts is, can make a ton of plays. They got AJ Brown. They got Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert receiving yards is a good play today over the receiving total. It's low. I think it's around 40 yards. I think that's a decent prop. I might be on that one after this one. But Detroit played a lot of close games last year. I forget how many games were decided by 3 or under 7 or 3 points. It was almost all their games. So
I was going to say like almost all of them, bro.
Almost all their games were really close. This is a 5.5 point spread. I think Eagles -5.5. I'd have to look real quick, but I think it's Eagles -5.5. And that, I don't like that number. That's what we call a bad number. In gambling, what you want to, if it's like Eagles -3, I'm okay. I don't like the number. They have to win by a touchdown. So, I mean,
you really don't think that happens though, too?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I would lean Eagles. To me, that week 1 is so hard in the NFL. Like Aaron was saying, it's a lot of dogs on week 1. Week 1 of college football, a lot of dogs too, man. Dogs were barking yesterday.
Well, so here's my point to it, though. And I mean, it's not that it needs to become the Lions versus the Eagles podcast or anything, but you look at the Lions, I'm willing to concede they got better. Their defensive line is amazing. Their offensive line is healthy. Jared Goff is a functional quarterback. I get all of that. Every single freaking concern I had about the Eagles has been addressed. Hey, where's your corners at? No problem. We'll just get Bradbury off the free agent waiver from the Giants. Oh, hey, your safeties suck. You're going to start Shishere, the safety out of San Jose State. No. We're going to go ahead and get Gardner Johnson. Oh, man, well, what about that D-line? Fletcher Cox is old. No, we got Jordan Davis. What about your linebackers? No, we got Nakobe Dean. Okay, well, Detroit's got a great defensive line. Yeah, well, guess what? We have the best offensive line in the league with Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. Well, guess what? You can only run the ball. Jalen Hurts can't throw. Well, guess what? We now have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert's healthy. I'm sorry. There's no way you can tell me as good as Detroit got better, the Eagles easily matched that and went above. I'm telling you, I would take yes, I'm not even a betting man, Tooch, but I'd fucking hammer that bet like no other.
You're making a good point for me to get on DraftKings right after the show.
I wish,
the Lions can't fucking pull. And you want to talk about just preseason? The Bears find a way to pull off 3 wins in the preseason. I'm watching the same old Lions find a way to lose 2 out of the 3 games because David Blough's dropping a fucking ball and Mitchell Trubisky and the Steelers whoop their ass in the third dress rehearsal. I'm not even trying to shit on the Lions. It's just show it to me.
I got the Eagles winning that division. No lie.
So it shouldn't be Detroit versus everybody. It should be Detroit versus Trubisky because Trubisky owns them.
It's Chicago or Pittsburgh. So
just dragging his nutsack across.
I like it. I mean, like I said, if I were laying money on this, and I may after the show, my money would be on the Eagles.
Well, maybe that's a good teaser. You were talking about teasers earlier. I mean, if it's at 5, you can tease it up to 7. And
it'd be Eagles plus a half. So you might want to do a 6.5 point teaser with another team. Then you got Eagles +1. Then if they lose by 1, you at least push.
Tooch, if I could ask, what's the total points expected for the Bears-Niners game?
The 40.5. Well, actually, live right now, it's down to 39.5 now. When I was talking about it earlier, it was 40.5. It dropped another half. So people are hammering the under. It opened at 42. I thought it opened at 44, but 42 would have been a great number.
That's because those 3 touchdowns you've seen the Bears put up. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. I had originally predicted 21-17 Bears win, right in line with that 40-41 points. But obviously that was before we understand the rain coming down and things like that.
Right. I mean, 21-17 would still keep you under. Yeah. Right now it's 39.5, which isn't terrible. But I mean, I advised my clients yesterday to bet the Iowa State game under. They had dropped from 40 down to like 38, by game time. So I was like, still play it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So people are listening. But I mean, since Jordan kind of kicked it off there, you guys want to start getting into some score predictions, MVP predictions, and get some shout outs so we can get out of here before Dylan gets on here to help people set their fantasy lineups?
Sure. Go ahead. Kick it off. You started.
All right. I mean, I said at the start of the show, and nothing that we've said today has changed my mind. I think someone in the chat was talking about the 49ers interior offensive line, and Bobby's touched on it a couple of times today.
Yeah.
I think Bears win by 10 and shock the nation. I got Bears 24, 49ers 14, and just a little salt on there. I think Robbie Gould misses a field goal today as well. So, my MVP is going to be David Montgomery. Since you let me go first, I'm gonna take it. I mean, they're gonna carry him. They're gonna carry him heavy, and it's gonna be an awful lot of Monty today. I think the Bears come out with the victory, and we should just go. I'm backwards here. Go this way.
Just a little addendum before I go. You have to give if you want to call it MVP, fine. But I was just going to say a player that surprises you, that's a critical player. But you just gave one on offense. Give one on defense, too. Let's go one on each side.
Okay. On defense, I'll go with Jaquan Brisker. I think he comes out, and we were talking about punching at the ball earlier. I think he gets a fumble, a forced fumble, maybe a fumble recovery on top of it, and shuts down. I don't think Kittle plays, so whoever the backup tight end is, I think he has a pivotal role in keeping him under wraps today.
Okay. For my, so 21-17, it's really been between 20-17, 21 and 17, whether that's 3 touchdowns or 2 and 2 field goals. So give the Bears 20 to 21 points, 49ers about 17. I understand the rain's coming down. That makes it a little hard, but I still think they'll find a way. Sloppy things happen, whether it's fumbles, return for touchdowns, things of that sort. Obviously, field goals being missed. As far as MVPs or players that are surprised me, I'm going to go ahead and say for the Bears, I'm giving Nick Morrow my name. Reason I feel that is he's going to be responsible for spying Lance, roboting across the field, for taking care of those crossers that are coming. You're going to have those PA waggles where bootlegs, and then you're going to have Debo or other guys crossing, and it's going to be up to Morrow, whether he's in a mug look or playing back, to sit there and mirror those guys as they're coming across the field. So I'm going Nick Morrow there. And then with offense, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Trayvon Wesco, believe it or not. I don't necessarily know if I'm not telling you he's going to all of a sudden have like an 80-yard game. I just think that you're going to see, if you're watching the game the way I watched it, I think you're going to see a lot of nice blocks set by him. And then potentially he's going to get a couple of those routes that are little slide routes out of the backfield, getting close to the end zone, where they're doing all those stupid fullback flats and things like that. I think that shouldn't say stupid. It's amazing to me that shit still works and scores touchdowns in the league, but it does. So those are my 2.
All right, I'll go. I'm gonna go with a Bears win. I'm gonna go 2013. They take the win, and on the offensive side of the ball, I'm gonna go with Kmet. I think Cole Kmet has the game that we're looking for. Maybe not something huge and multiple touchdowns in that, but you know, the run blocking, the chipping, a couple good catches, you know, some yards, maybe a touchdown, but I wouldn't doubt it. But I just think Kmet's you're gonna really see the fruits of the working together through the offseason, him and Fields pay off, and him stepping into that role of a no shit solidified target and ready to go. On the other side, I'm gonna go on defensive side. I'm gonna go with Roquan. I think Roquan's gonna pick off one of these under routes today, and I think he's, you know, his lack of off-season activity. I won't say activity, but just, you know, the issues. I don't think that even comes into play at all. I think
he should be fresh.
Yeah, I think he's coming in. We know how he can get sideline to sideline. We know how he can move. And I think he's just going to be a beast in there today. Guessing he's going to pick off an under route somewhere. And I want to see this defensive line as a whole just tear up that interior, right, and get their fucking hands up when the pass is coming. Hands up, force Trey Lance into mistakes. I know I've said it 100 times, but force this dude into mistakes. He's not comfortable back there yet. He's nervous as fuck right now. This is his team now, and I think those are all things that should be taken advantage of. So that's who I got. That's what I'm going with, and hopefully we get this Bears W. Who wants to go? We'll kick it over to KB. You're up. Only because you're right next to me in the picture page. So
you just cut off Tooch. I thought
I was gonna say Tooch can go. Go ahead,
Tooch. Sorry, Tooch.
I'm gonna say 2016, and the MVP is Justin Fields. There's 2016.
All right, that was quick and easy. What about
what do you got?
Defensive guy?
Defensive guy, I'll say it is Al-Qadim Muhammad with a couple sacks.
Okay. I had 2014 Bears. My offensive MVP. I'm gonna go with the good old left tackle here, Braxton Jones. And I'm gonna say Braxton Jones shows today why he's the starting left tackle. Let's say in defense, I'm going Justin Jones. That the middle of that offensive line for the 49ers isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
I feel like Justin Jones is you know what I'm saying, he needs that breakout game to show that, hey, I can do this. And I feel like that's going to be today, man. So, yeah, 2014 Bears.
Hell yeah. All right, Chris, give us the wanker pick of the week.
I think it's going to be a Bears win. I think the score's going to be 21-14. My offense MVP will be Montgomery, because I just think with the weather conditions, it's going to be a run-heavy game. And I think my defensive MVP is going to be Robert Quinn. I think if we get a lot of pressure on Trey Lance, because I feel he's like the weakest part of their offense, then that's going to lead to a Bears victory.
Hey, that's a fantastic pick, man. Robert Quinn's been looked over all off season, but because he just hasn't really been there, I think people kind of forget about him. But this dude owns the season record for the Bears sacks. So if you want to go ahead and hit your shout outs, Chris, we'll go back the other way and
bring it back the other way
and get out of here.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, first is
no, sorry, go ahead.
Fuck you.
Hey, pull that shit, Tooch.
Go ahead, Chris, what you got?
First of all, I'd like to say, shout out to you boys, man. I always say this every week, but it's one of my favourite times of the week is chatting Bears football with you guys. You know, you're all top lads, and it's an absolute joy. And shout out to the people in the chat. You know who you are, and I'm so pumped up that first day in the NFL, one of the best days of the year. So yeah, it's just always a great honour to be a part of the show. And everybody take care and be good to each other, and have a good week.
Hell yeah, go ahead, KB. We'll go back this way.
Of course, shout out to you boys, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all doing your thing. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe, do all that. You know what I'm saying? It helps with the YouTube algorithms, But you also had to remember, man, we can't be remiss to remember what today is, man. Today is 9/11. So shout out to everybody that gave their lives today and that lost their lives, somebody they loved or anybody, man, because it's still here, man. It's 9/11. Everybody has their own stories for it. I just got done doing the ceremony for it. So just need to remind you guys about that. And just love everybody, man. Today is football day, man. As much shit as we talk, we all got love for somebody, man. It's all in the name of the game and the love of the game. So love you boys, of course, man. Love everybody in the chat, man. Keep doing the thing. Hit the like button, man. We appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah. All right, go ahead, Bobby, if you ain't dying too much over there.
I'm always dying. It's all right. Yeah, shout out to all you boys. Shout out to to the whole network, Barroom Network, and shout out to everybody, to like all the other networks. Who gives a shit, man? All the ones, kicking their podcast, spreading their love for the Bears and doing their talk. The genuine ones, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. It's like it's fucking Christmas Day. We get actual football. This shit's gonna be going on for a while now. Shout out to all you guys who joined the chat. Greatly appreciate you guys hopping in here with us every week and just kicking it and dealing with our goofy asses and talking shit. I mean, that's the way it goes. It's just kind of how it goes. Really excited to see this team take the field today under this new coaching staff. Let's pray for development. Let's pray for actual, game management and for no injuries, and just go from there. Like everybody said, smash that like button. Tooch, when you get up, man, make sure you plug everything you got, so everybody, if they don't know, I don't know how, but if they don't, they get it. Shout out to Mr. Gandia, Mr. Aldo Gandia, the Godfather. Appreciate everything you do, brother. Hope things are getting better. And otherwise, thanks for joining us. Over to Mr. Santucci.
All right. I will thank all the Barflies, of course, for all the support. Always great in the chat room. Comments are always great, from the Dan and Aldo show to the Barfly Tailgate. Check out all the new shows we have, from Bear Necessities to Weekend Sports Betting Tips. And I think Bears Country Cast, that'll be launched soon. And he'll join Barfly Tailgate every Sunday before the game, because this is for Barflies with Barflies. And you can't beat it. Sometimes you'll see me here. And right after this show, we got Fantasy Football Goon with my radio son, Joe Mandel.
Yep. Goon and the Tooch. Tooch and the Goon. Two dudes with a fantasy in a bar room. Not saying it's gay, but it could be a bit. They're about to tell you who to start and sit.
I may drop by there after the show. I don't know yet. My wife is peeking in here. It's like, another podcast?
Yeah, no shit. That's all good. We greatly appreciate you joining us, Tooch. Love you, dude. Over to you, Jordan. What you got, brother?
Of course, Barflies, everybody, thanks so much for joining. This is always a blast to do it with all you great fellas as well as everybody in the chat. It's Bears football. We're back. I'm excited for it. Let's just enjoy it. The highs, the ups, the downs. It's a roller coaster. It's a journey just to have fun and enjoy it. As Tooch said, and everybody else saying, hit the algorithm, like, subscribes, do all that good stuff. Aldo Gandia, president of Barroom Network. You can find him at Aldo Barkeeper on Twitter. Find us at Barroom Network on Twitter. Aldo, as Bobby said, I hope things are good. You do so much to empower us and allow this content to be kind of shared out and putting all of these kindred souls and spirits together to talk about football. So I appreciate that. And I guess for me, a couple things. Bare Necessities, it's on Saturday mornings. You can find it. Still trying to lock down the time to make sure I don't interfere with other programming, but that'll allow everybody to catch it on the weekend. Allows me to catch up on Thursday Night Football, so it's not interfering. Bears Necessities, typical schedule will be a breakdown of the game coming up that week, keys to victory, things to watch out for, potential traps, as well as a few critical plays from the week before that really led to either the win or the loss for the Bears. So you can expect that. And then finally, as what will become tradition on every Bears game, I will be doing a 10 takeaways thread on Twitter. You can find me at Jordan T. Silvera on Twitter, where just deep kind of in thought process about different things that went on in the game that I thought were worth taking away. So thank you, everybody. Bear down.
Sweet.
Nice.
AC.
First and foremost, shout out to you guys for coming on here. Shout out to Tooch for hopping in with us and telling us where to put our money to make a couple extra dollars this week, hopefully. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I didn't see Don Burr in there today. I guess he's asleep or something. I don't know what's going on, but
ducking us.
But he's ducking and dodging us this week, I guess. I don't know, but so definitely shout out to everybody in the chat. Just like they've all said, hit the like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends. If you got any Bears fans that are friends, let them know they can come over here and they can get good information from Jordan, or they can come on here and bullshit with the tailgaters every Sunday morning, man. Yeah, we come in and we have a great time. We bullshit for an hour and a half or so, and then we try to get y'all ready for Bears football. I'm fired up this week, man. Kentucky goes and gets a big win last night. I think the Bears keep that going today, and I'm just gonna have a great weekend. Might have a beer or two, and I'm gonna enjoy this. You know, the bullets are flying, and it's finally live. And to echo what everyone said here about Aldo, I got a lot of love for that guy. He's, like I said before, he's like the grandfather I never had. He comes on here, he takes care of us, he takes care of stuff behind the scenes. I mean, he hopped in here and threw that video up of Chris just off the whim. You know, you don't get that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's great, and we got a lot of love for Aldo. I know he's got a lot going on personally, and he's just a great friend, you know, and I hope he knows he's got plenty of friends here in the bar room that he can always reach out to if he needs to. To echo KB talking about 9/11 as a military veteran, it goes a long way with me, and Bobby knows as well as a active Marine. And KB's a fireman, you know, it's iconic, the FDNY with synonymous with 9/11, and makes you just just take a second to think back of what this day means to some of us while you're enjoying your football today. Definitely take a moment to realize 9/11. We said we would never forget, and I promise we never will. Definitely wanted to touch on that before we got out of here. And shout out to Scotty. He had his game on Thursday, and like I said, he's in 6th grade on the middle school team, so he doesn't get a ton of time. But last week, his team went up pretty big, and he got a couple of series in. He was excited to get onto the field, which was awesome. Proud dad moment, you know. And you see your kid out there, and he's starting to have a love for the game. Last week, he went to his first Kentucky game and had a blast. And so I can see the love for football growing in him like it has for me as much. I don't know if he'll love it as much as I do because I'm fanatical about it, but
yeah, I think when he gets older, he will. You know, normally, like I think all of us when we were kids, you know, our parents, well, at least mine, they were either into it or they weren't, right? And you were kind of just like, yeah, cool. What's the score? All right, boom. And then when playoffs and whether it be basketball or football or baseball, when that came around, then we started paying attention. But as kids, you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then once you get older, you're like, fucking start eating that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'll need someone to take over the Tailgate show when I'm ready to retire. So maybe Scotty can.
We over here growing fans.
But
well said, AC.
Yeah, and we'll just finish this all out with a fat ass bear down.
Bear down. Woo, let's go.
Let's go.
Go.